It's a scene you may see regularly heading home from work. Cars, bumper to bumper, and a wreck at the intersection. So, Fox 31 News requested records from the city of Albany on the top crash locations to try to figure out why we see this scene so often. Answer is, well, there's a lot of answers. Intersection number 5, Palmyra Road and Slappy Boulevard.
If you have a high volume intersection, then just by the sheer number of vehicles that are going through there, it makes sense that you're going to have a higher percentage of crashes at that versus somewhere out in the county where you don't have that much traffic.
A study of this intersection was done by the Georgia Department of Transportation back in 2010 at the request of the city of Albany. The DOT recommended signal adjustments, mounting overhead street signs, and repainting the stop lines and crosswalks, as well as pruning trees back for better visuals. Intersection number 4, Gilliamville Road and Westover Boulevard. A traffic engineering study is ongoing right now with the DOT regarding this intersection. One was also done back in 2010. Then it was recommended that the signals be adjusted, street signs be mounted, incandescent lights were also replaced with LED lighting, warning signs were added, and the approach at northbound Westover was widened. Intersection number 3, Oglethorpe Boulevard and Radium Springs Road. Just recently, the DOT has requested information from the city again about this intersection. Studies were done in 2008 and 2010 here. Now, GDOT recommended that the light timing be adjusted and crosswalks be installed. This was denied. It was also recommended that supplemental signage be posted, like left turns, keep right, and wrong way signs. This was completed. The top 2 intersections with the most crashes last year fall within the city of Albany's jurisdiction. Intersection number 2, Dawson Road and Westover Boulevard, and the leader, Nottingham Way at Westover Boulevard. Fox 31 News spoke to the city's director of engineering, who said in the past 5 years there have been no improvements to either of these 2 intersections. The only improvement on record is a decel lane put in place next to Olive Garden, which, by the way, officials say the restaurant paid for. The office adds most of GDOT's recommendations on the other intersections have not been initiated because it required money and approval from a city commission. Fox 31 News reached out to Commissioner Bob Langstaff of District 1 since both of these intersections are in his area. He declined to comment.
A lot of it is just bad driving. We can only make it so safe. I mean, there's lights at every angle and warning signs, but people need to slow down and pay attention.
Fox 31 News also spoke to local businesses in that same area. Their concern with the accident-prone intersections is it could affect the way business flows.
People might get aggravated waiting in traffic and decide not to shop.
Especially during lunchtime, if they're in a hurry to get back to work, they'd probably just rather go somewhere else.
City commissioners say those intersections will get the attention they deserve, but only when the time is right.
And what we want to do when we have to spend the taxpayers' money, we want the taxpayers to see results.
The injuries involved at these intersections are not as severe as most seen in the county. That's due to a lower rate of speed traveled within the city limits. But officials say these accidents can still cost you money.
We're a taxpayer-funded department, and we don't charge for response to automobile accidents or wrecks. However, if we did an estimate of actual cost to respond, just to get our people there on the trucks with equipment, somewhere in about the $500 range.
And that's per accident, and the cost goes up from there the longer they're on scene. The same goes for medical services and response from EMS. They send 2 people in 1 ambulance with the average cost of salary totaling about $30 an hour plus the cost of fuel. And officials say responding to the city is cost effective because the distance traveled is lower. During this time of year, leading up to the holidays, they respond even more due to more shoppers traveling to and from the mall. Though the intersections by design may not be perfect, experts say the roadways are rarely the problem. They say it's the drivers who are speeding or distracted who are causing the wrecks. They add, no amount of signage or stoplights will help if someone isn't following traffic law, and adding a red light may cause more of a problem, impeding traffic and disrupting the flow of moving traffic.
It gets very specific, it gets very involved. If you look at the manual and uniform traffic control devices, there are actual whole chapters on each of these things.